What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike, and today I'm back with a MENT update. I've been on MENT now for a little over a week. Right out the gate, gotta have a burp. Wouldn't be a Trinity video without a burp. The first 2 days, I'm basically like a week and 3 days into this cycle now, week and 4 days into this cycle, or into this experiment. The first 2 days, I only pinned 5 milligrams a day. Then I went up to 7 milligrams a day for like 3 or 4 days, and then I went up to 10 milligrams a day. So I've been kind of holding off, trying to pass too much judgment on the MENT itself, because it's still early on. I mean, it's an ACE ester, so I think it should definitely be active in my system by now. And so I'm gonna give you a breakdown of what I'm currently feeling. That's not to say that it won't get better over the course of the next, say, 4 days or so. But from what I'm hearing from the community is that with an ACE ester, it should be basically fully saturated by about the 2-week mark. I'm going to choose to judge this based on the 2 weeks from the point that I started 10 milligrams. Because, obviously those other doses were pretty small. So what am I feeling so far? First of all, let me give you the positives. The positives have been that this is probably psychologically maybe the best feeling drug I've ever run. And I want to quantify that because I talk positively, I talk about the positive effects of different compounds quite a bit. So, like I've explained, that Masteron can give you sort of a happy, upbeat feeling. This is very common in the early going of using Masteron, like literally the first couple of pins. And I think that it is pervasive throughout the cycle, but it's not something that's terribly apparent. You could certainly still go into a bout of depression on Masteron, but I definitely feel like Masteron does a really good job of offsetting some of the negatives that come with running, with running Trenbolone specifically. Proviron has a good feeling. Anavar has good feelings. Both of these drugs provide sort of speedy feelings that create a little bit of intensity and motivation. And MENT has been a completely different animal. So far on the MENT, I feel not only substantially happier throughout the majority of the day. And happy is like really not a word that I like to use, really, or it's a bad descriptive word. I think the better way to try to describe MENT is I feel pleasantly content, which is like fucking totally foreign to my personality type. I am very rarely in life content with anything. I have been feeling so much contentedness on this particular compound that it's almost making me uncomfortable. I was concerned that it was outcompeting the Trenbolone for the receptor. That is decidedly not true. I can definitively have a Tren fucking meltdown at the drop of a dime, just as strong, just as powerful as I ever did on any dose of Trenbolone. The MENT just seems to lay over the Tren a really pleasant, just kind of happy, contented, joyous kind of feel. There is a side effect to this though. And the side effect to it is in the beginning on the MENT, I was so amped up that I was waking up, I was ready to run to the gym, go get the car washed, clean the bathroom, do whatever. While I still feel motivated to accomplish, my motivation to accomplish is being somewhat offset by the fact that I do just kind of feel content. And so it's kind of like, yeah, I could get some shit done, but I'm pretty happy with life right now. And so I'm not really feeling the stress or strain. That's one of the things that definitely seems to have just like I'm in like the lowest stress mode I feel like I've been in forever. I'm not stressing anything. And there is something that I would otherwise be stressing, which I'll get to in a minute. The second thing that I am shocked to be fucking reporting is that I have had basically no No estrogen slash progestin problems. I think this is not due to the fact that the drug is not potentially gyno in a bottle, but I think it's because the fact that the MENT is so fast acting, and that I know that the estrogen is unusually powerful relative to baseline, that I haven't been afraid of crashing my E2 and putting myself in a week's period of time of total misery. So when I first started the MENT, I went pretty hard on the ADEX. I definitely increased my dose way quicker than I would have ever done with any compound. And so I think I was able to get out ahead of any of the possible gyno related problems, because normally I would try to like ease in, like I would try to lower my estrogen slowly, and that would leave me with like a week or two of high estrogen symptoms. Because of the fact the MENT is so fast acting, I wasn't worried about crashing it, because the reality was I kind of wanted to. I was looking for an excuse to up the MENT dose anyway. So I was like, I'm just going to throw a bunch of ADEX at the system, monitor my nipples, monitor my D game, monitor a couple of various, different kind of metrics to determine where my estrogen is at, and just go from there. And so my nipples have stayed perfectly like normal size, no puffiness, no itching, no signs of high E2 for sure. I'm not crying at reels. At first, I started to think that I was a little low on the estrogen. And that brings us to one of the negative kind of / positive side effects. It's kind of in this weird no man's zone. So one of the things that I have noticed within about 4 days of using the MENT is that I have basically zero conventional libido. So typically for me, I will be having lots of sexual thoughts throughout the day. And physically, I will feel driven, like physically driven. Like I will be routinely through the day becoming ready for the act. And sex will often just be kind of percolating in the background on most of my blast cycles. This is totally non-existent on the MENT. I have never in my life been so indifferent to the thought of sex other than when I crash my estrogen. So I was talking to Cavalser in the middle of the week, in the middle of the week of the first week on, and I was saying, hey, I think I'm seeing some signs of low E because I'm not really interested in sex, and I have been slightly disconnected from my wife's storytelling processes. But the thing that I'm happy to report is that while I am definitely not chasing my girl for it at all, in fact, the last 2 or 3 times that we've engaged in adult behavior, she has been the aggressor. And she's like kind of like tentatively asking, like, so like I was thinking maybe, she's like afraid. She told me like last night she was afraid to put pressure on me because of the fact that I seem so disinterested. But once like she promotes it as an idea, my brain is immediately up for the fuck. I'm like, yeah, sure, we could do that. But when I say, yeah, sure, we could do that, like there's kind of like a doubt in the back of my head because I don't know if I'm going to perform. Because usually the way I know I'm going to perform is I've been feeling my little soldier being very awake throughout the day. And so when the soldier is awake regularly throughout the day, you're like, okay, things are firing on all cylinders. When soldier seems to be taking a nap all day and is asleep on the fucking job and doesn't even care if the camp is getting raided, it's like, oh, this could be bad. But despite the fact that I have little to no physical urge, the second we begin to engage in the act, soldier becomes full alert, very fucking aware, very sensitive, and very capable of performing his duties. The acts have all been very fulfilling and very healthy. I'm in a very healthy mindset during the act. Very like pro what she wants, but not in that beta way that I complain about, where it's like I'm so pro what she wants, but it comes at the cost of what I want. Again, like it seems to be like the perfect combination of a mental state. It's like I don't have this libido that is nagging me to death to the point that it's becoming an irritant. But when it's time to get in the game, I'm totally able to function at a great level and enjoy her and have patience and there's no pressure, there's no negative thoughts, there's no insecurities, nothing. So all in all, this compound has just been producing this mental state of incredible security, incredible like self-esteem, and just like comfort in my own skin. I wrote an entire Instagram story post last night and then deleted it. Like, I have stopped worrying about the job situation. I have stopped worrying about what am I going to do with this channel? Is my transparency too much? Like, I just don't give a fuck about most of the normal stressors and strains in life. I'm just in this attitude that what will be, and I am just really feeling just very good overall. It's really uncanny. It's a level of happy, happy, contented. I don't even know the word. It's so foreign to me. I don't even know the fucking words. Maybe this is just what it feels like to not be depressed. Maybe I just feel normal. And I just am so generally abnormal that I don't know what it is to be normal. If this is what most of you feel like all day, every day, then goddamn, I have been missing out for a long time. So from the psychological perspective, the MENT has been phenomenal. I think that it's giving me a really great aesthetic. I keep seeing people in the comments that are claiming this. My wife seems to feel this. I'm getting a lot of attention in public. My weight has plateaued, which is my biggest concern. The other thing is that my appetite is not anywhere near as strong as it's been. Because my weight plateaued and because I have been struggling I'm not feeling ravenous on the MK677 like I used to. I started counting calories for the first time in a while. And I have been struggling to get past 3,800 calories a day. So like, I can tell you that last night, I'm not proud of these numbers. These are the numbers that I got. I ended the day with 173 grams of protein, 101 grams of fat, 503 grams of carbs, and that was good for like, I can't see the total calories. It was like 3,600 or something calories. I don't know why I can't see the calories on this. I'm sitting around like 36 to 3,800 calories. And I've been a little bit light on my protein. So I definitely need to get that protein number up. 173 is no good. I need to be up closer to, I need to be at least 200. And so I'm struggling. I'm definitively struggling to eat. I have been considering adding GHRP6 on top of the MK677 instead of increasing the MK677 dose to see if that will crank out some more appetite. I don't know why my appetite is struggling. I don't know if it's the MENT that's causing it or if I'm just desensitized to the MK677. But the thing that is definitively true is I seem to be leaning out in my midsection and becoming more and more vascular in my upper body. So I don't know if there's a tiny recomp going on here. Again, it's just a week and some days. So it's way too early to call it. Way too early to stress the weight gain. But I just want to be transparent in saying that right now I'm having some signs that maybe the MENT is having a negative effect on my appetite. It is also fair to be transparent that up until, I think this is day 4 or 5, so relatively soon into the MENT cycle, I found out that apparently it is not a good idea to take drugs like Nexium, proton pump inhibitors, every day long term. That this can lead to colorectal cancers and esophageal cancers. I had been on Nexium 1 a day for 9 consecutive months. And when I stopped taking the Nexium, I had several days of like rebound effect where I just felt like, it feels like there's a valve, like maybe your stomach has like a sphincter at the top that goes to your esophagus or something. I haven't studied the biology of this, but it feels like there's some kind of valve or sphincter or something right about here at the top part of my stomach. And it's like heartburn. It's just like burning off and on miserably all day. I mentioned on Discord that I felt like an opiate addict, and I just wanted to say, like, I just wanted to quit the game. I was like, fuck it, I don't even care about cancer. I just want to take a Nexium and make this go away. I have soldiered through it, and it has gotten better. Admittedly, I did not take my Cialis last night, and the Cialis is the reason that I take the Nexium. If I take anything more than like 3 milligrams of Cialis, which I don't even know if that's enough to even be active. If I take 5 milligrams of Cialis, I have chronic nagging, this heartburn feeling in my esophagus, or my whatever the fuck this area right here is in the digestive tract. Right here, it is just miserable all day long. And so I may have to just get off of the Cialis altogether. It's just not worth it. So getting off the proton pump inhibitor could possibly be playing a role in my funky appetite. I don't know. I'm still hanging out around 210 at night, or 210 at night, but I'm definitely leaner and more shredded and more vascular. And it seems like there's some weight has moved into my upper body. My pecs look to me to be extremely full, and my shoulders and everything seem to be really filled out. The gym. I have great endurance in the gym. Some people said in the comments when I mentioned that I was starting the MENT, that my strength was getting ready to go through the roof. I have not noticed any strength gains. As far as actual gym performance goes, MENT has been incredibly underwhelming. I am not seeing anything from MENT that I have not gotten substantially more from other drugs. If it was not for the very positive mood, I would not continue taking this compound. I think if I was to guess based on where I'm at week 1, I don't think this compound is going to work for me. I don't think it's going to prove to be worth the battles with the estrogen and prolactin. I just, so far I'm not seeing it. Again, I'm going to keep going for a while. I might even increase the dose because I lowered my testosterone. So normally my testosterone is at 500 milligrams a week, and I brought it down to, I basically have started bringing it down to 300 milligrams a week. I dropped to 300 when I moved the MENT up to 10. It's possible that I will increase the MENT again. I might just jump straight up to 15, leave the test at 300, and then address the E2 and prolactin as necessary. So I might choose to assume that the reason I'm not getting much out of this is because of low dose situation. I don't know, but right now, if I had to make a judgment call right now, based on my experience, I would probably drop the MENT and go back to just running test, trend, high test, trend, and DECA. I think I get all of the same things from that. I don't know that the MENT has really done anything special for me yet. But again, we're really only like a week and like 3 or 4 days, and only about 4 of those days are at a 10 milligram dose. So there's still a lot of room for experimentation. There's still a lot of room for tinkering. I would love to hear anybody who's run MENT in the past. What dose were you, was there a minimally effective dose? Do you think my dose is too low? Or do you think that it's just, with the triple 19 NORs, are they out competing each other? I don't know what's really going on. I was very scared to take this drug. I thought I was jumping into something that was just going to be really profound. And sorry, I got something in my eye. And it has definitely not been profound. Obviously, nothing is as big of a mindfuck as Trenbolone, and Trenbolone is a substantial mindfuck for me. So really, everything pales in comparison to that. And so that could be a factor. It's also possible that just the combination of Tren and MENT, and that I have my metabolism sufficiently amped up that I've got too much going on in the way of compounds. But I tend to not believe that because I was running a shit ton of compounds when I got to 214. And as I was climbing to 214, I was having no problem putting on a little fluff. And I just can't seem to even gain a pound of fat if I wanted to right now. And it doesn't seem to matter how shitty I eat. I mean, I'm over 500 grams of carbs, 100 grams of protein. Fats. I'm going to keep trying to jack that up. I think I'm going to intentionally try to increase my fats so that I can artificially inflate my calories just to get into more of a surplus and see if that doesn't spur any kind of weight gain, even if it's fat, just to find out what the... to find out how many calories do I need to eat before I start seeing some type of increase on the fucking scale. I'm guessing that I probably need to be closer to 4,500 calories a day to get the scale moving again, but I'm not sure. So that's pretty much it. Unfortunately, I don't have anything terribly exciting to report. No substantial gym performance. Sex is good. It's not bad, but it's certainly not it's certainly not something like I would never choose this compound for bedroom purposes at all. There are far better compounds for that. The jury is just, for me, the jury is definitely still out. It has been, all in all, rather lackluster. So, again, I might increase. The only time I really feel it is on the come up. That's the thing. When I jumped from 7 milligrams to 10 milligrams, for 3 days, I was on fire. My brain was manic. I was feeling it. And then once the dose settles in, it's just like it's not even there again. So if I go up to fucking 15 milligrams, I'll start feeling it again. I'll be rip-roaring for a few days, and then it'll stable out again. And so it's like, obviously you just can't keep going up and up and up and up. I don't know if that's because, again, I'm just at a dose that's too low to really be efficient. Kowalski tells me that MENT is basically 10 times as potent as test, I think. So, 10 milligrams of MENT should be enough to get something done. But, let's see. That's like adding 700 milligrams of testosterone to my cycle. So I took 200 out and replaced it with 700. I should be up 500 milligrams effectively of anabolism, and maybe it's just that the MENT feels like test. I don't know. As you can see, I usually love to sell people on compounds, and I don't know, man. So far, I can't get terribly excited about this drug on any period of time other than the come up. So I'm going to keep plugging away, keep pinning away, keep lifting, keep paying very close attention to everything that's going on. I did increase my Masteron dose a little. So currently I'm at 300 milligrams of Test C per week, 200 milligrams of Nandrolone decanoate per week, 80 milligrams of Trenbolone E per week, 500 milligrams of Masteron E per week. I'm currently taking 10 milligrams of MENT acetate per day, 50 milligrams of Proviron per day, and 25 milligrams of MK677 per day. I'm currently trying to decide whether to increase the MK677 or add something like GHRP6 to try to spur some more appetite, because clearly the problem is not the compounds. Clearly the problem is I am not eating enough calories. You cannot fool the math. It is simple. Calories in, calories out. I'm not gaining weight of any kind, which means I'm not in a surplus. So I can sit here and bash on MENT or this or that, or tell you all these sad fucking stories. The reality is that whatever combination of things is going on right now, I am not able to eat enough food to get any bigger, and I've got to figure out a way to get that going. The only last thing that I will say is that if I was in a 500 calorie a day surplus, I would expect to be gaining a pound per week. And I got used to that really rapid weight gain where I went from 190 to 210 in a short period of time. And so maybe it's just that was all the water and glycogen and shit refilling up all of my muscle tissue that had become desiccated from me being sick. And so maybe the problem here is not so much that I'm not gaining weight. It's just that I'm not gaining it as fast as I was when it was water weight. So now we're into a position where I have to let the compounds actually do their real anabolic work and start putting actual contractile tissue on my frame. And if that's the stage that we're at, then I wouldn't expect to see anything more than maybe, like on a good cycle, I would expect 10 pounds of actual contractile tissue to start piling up over the course of the next 16, maybe 20 weeks. So that again is another fair assessment possibly of what's going on, is that I'm just as full glycogen wise as I'm going to get. I'm not adding a bunch of extra water, and so now the gains are going to come substantially slower, but we will have to wait and see. So as always, thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.